And he's loose again. Edwards off the running. Puts it back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Riley Williams. 233. Touchdown.
All righty, guys. Good morning. At least for me, anyway. Recording this, it's time to do some Rutgers season preview for 2025, and we're rolling through the Big Ten right now, getting these knocked out by the season, and it's just me right now, Brendan. I'm glad to have you in. Rutgers is a team that I've liked a couple years now with, Shiano coming back. I just like his style of coaching, and I like how hard nosed they play. So this is a team I'm excited to see what they do in 2025. When we talk about a couple of things real quick before we get into 2025, we talk a little bit about last season, and then we jump in with coaching and then going on from there. I don't get too into it. It's more of a macro outlook, but that's just kind of what we do on these. We're a national podcast, so if you like us, please follow us, subscribe, all that good stuff. During the off season, we of course do all these breakdowns, these previews. And then during the regular season, we talk all the games, all that good stuff. So hope you guys hang around. All right, let's get into it. 2024, and obviously Rutgers fans, how things went here, but we usually bring this up just for everybody else if you're watching. All right, so 2024 Rutgers, that was the season that I feel like it left them wanting more. When you look at how close some of these losses were, like to Nebraska, to UCLA, to Illinois, I mean, that's a total change in what the season would have been. Those one-score losses. I mean, that's a 10-win season right there if you could flip those one-score games. So looking ahead, that's something that this team really needs to get on, and Shiano needs to get the guys ready to go for that. You look at beating Virginia Tech on the road, beating Washington, who had kind of an up and down season, but honestly, they still had good pieces. Minnesota, Maryland, Michigan State, and then the loss at the end of the year to Kansas State, just tough. But I think there's building blocks here for this Rutgers team. All right, moving on. We're going to get into 2025 and look at some of the numbers that are going to lead us there. When we talk about building off of last season, what do you have coming back? 71% returning production. That's great. That's a great number. And a lot of it is good production returning. It's not just guys that just barely make it through, and you guys were 3 and whatever, and you guys sucked, and you can't do anything. You have the same guys coming back. Nothing's changed. No, this is good returning production. SP Plus has you at the 45th toughest team in the country. These are numbers from Bill Connolly, and they'll be, the numbers get cycled out with the advanced stats and all that as the season goes along. If you don't know, I'm sure most of you probably do. A couple things to look at, though, from 2024. And you still got 7 wins, and there's still in so many close ones. Offense was rated 71st in the country in total offense. The defense was 95th. So that's right there. That number's got to get better. 95th on defense is unacceptable to me from a Shiano defense. But I'd say things are getting better. Having Callie McManus come in, that helped out the offense a lot from where it was before. So we'll see if that can improve. Coaching side, you guys hired a couple defensive coordinators, Zach Sparber and then Rob Smith. And it sounds like Smith is going to be the guy calling the plays, but Shiano liked the way that you can have the co-DCs, and he said he's seen it before, he's seen it around. I think he's used it before, so he's going towards that. And he's known Rob Smith. You guys have known Rob Smith, and then Sparber's a younger guy that is coming up, but really like what he has to offer. So I think it's a good move. You get somebody that's been around the block, knows how to call the plays, and then a young guy that's getting in there and sparking up the defense. Yeah, that's really it for coaching. I don't dive too much into it. Uh, but Shiano, I think he's a good coach. I think he's tough. I think he knows how to run a program. And with Rutgers and getting the NIL and all that stuff going, it's going to take a little bit of time. But if you guys can do it, back what I always used to hear Rutgers fans say is fence the garden. That's huge. Get the recruiting going. Keep it steady and then work the portal to plug. So I think there's room for Rutgers to continue to improve and get better with him as a head coach. Looking at the portal, just mentioned that 51st in the country, 18 in, 21 out. I think it's a solid class when you look at the players that they had come in. A couple of guys that I wrote down: Colin Weber, DT Sheffield, O'Neill, Weaver, a couple of the O line guys, especially for depth. And then Cam Miller is another one that I think is going to be really important for this season and getting that defense, bumped up in the overall numbers there. You did lose a couple good ones. Torre, I believe, is how it's pronounced. Matthews, and then Wes Bailey. Those are really the three main. But when you lost 21, it's really not bad considering. So I'd say what you brought in outweighs what you lost, even though what you lost, I think they're good players, but I think you bring in more that benefits the team. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and let's look at some offense and just kind of look at this roster here. Mentioned, Kelly Aikman is coming back. AK, I think he really improved last season from where he was at in Minnesota. And I think he has room to improve even more. And when you look at, his numbers, last year he had 18 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. The year before, 14-9. And then his completion percentage went up almost 1 point. So it's 53.9. The year before in 23, it was 53.1. So I mean, his average per pass went up a little bit, but his yards, 2,600 as opposed to 1,800. I think he's just going to continue to grow and improve in his game. Uh, you get good talent around him, a strong coaching staff. I think he's going to be fine. Especially the 18-7 touchdown interception ratio. I think that's fine. You don't need this guy to go out and try to be, throwing 40 touchdowns. Like, would that be awesome? Yeah, it would be. But again, you need to control the football. You need to move the ball and get first downs, convert tight third downs. So you need him to just be a game manager. I know people hate that term, but I love it. I like game managers because they don't screw up. They keep you in the game. They keep you right where you need to be. Now, yeah, you want somebody that can go out and win those one score battles. Totally get that. And you can. As long as you control the ball, you get those first downs. In crucial like third down, third and longs situations. So I think he can do that. We'll see. It's just I want to see the team around him how well they step up to. So in order to have good quarterback play, you gotta have good line play. You have 4 returning starters, some help from the portal that I mentioned earlier. Really, I think a bunch of guys coming in. We'll see if any of them can jump in, at least in the 2 deep. But guys coming up from the FCS level, New Haven, Langsdale coming over from Lafayette. Omland is the one from Illinois coming over, 6'6", 305. I think that's an important get. And then Giwa coming over, again, from the FCS ranks, LIU. So there's guys that are there for depth and can get into the rotation, if things go wrong. But I think you're going to have a good starting 5. I want to see them really lean on, get this run going. I know it sucks losing Monangai. The dude was a beast. But you have pieces there that can still move the football on the ground. So we're going to try to use that. Lean on Callie McManus to be that game manager. I think things can turn around here from what we saw last year at times. So running back wise, CJ Campbell, he's coming in. I think that's a nice get too from the portal. And then, he's coming out from FAU. And then you also have Antoine Raymond, who I think is a rising star. He did good last year. And when you're able to get your yardage and to get yours behind a good running back already in Monangai, that's important. So I think he's going to be crucial to this offense. And then, like I mentioned, CJ Campbell coming in, it'll be a good change of pace. Wide receivers, they're good targets there. Sheffield's coming in. He's going to be very important. You got Strong and Duff still out there. So there's targets. There's weapons for AK to throw to. I just want to see how it all comes together. If they can get those crucial third downs in the red zone scores. Huge for this year and getting over those one-score losses. Let's look at the defense real quick. You're going to move on. Sorry, my voice kind of feels jacked up right now. And my nose, all that stuff, but whatever. I don't know why I said that, but I did. All right, we're going to move on. Defense. This is where, to me, you're really going to improve this team. You can, if you want that 10-win season, got to be defense. Entire front is reworked from the portal. You guys did a lot of work there, and that's why I like this class, because you saw a need and you attacked it. You went through guys from JMU, USF, Blue Alley, Dignoe, that coming up from JMU, edge rusher O'Neal from JMU. Got a lot of guys from the group of six, but they're good players. Bradley Weaver, mentioned him earlier on the D line. He was impressive for Ohio. This guy is going to play. So it's just seeing how does that skill translate to the Big Ten. And I think it will just fine. A lot of guys, they worry about that, but if you can game, you can game. All right, these guys are going to be right in it. They're still playing against big dudes. We'll see how it goes, but I like the pieces you brought in on the defense, the edge, the D line, the interior. So I think important pieces there. But really, the entire front is going to be the portal. I think they're going to be able to step in. We'll see, though. We will see. I'm not saying they're going to be an elite unit. Not saying they're going to be top end of the Big Ten. But I think they're going to be good enough to manage the run and at least get some pressures on the edge, especially from the linebacker core. You got vets back there. Jabome's a guy, 105 tackles. That's going to be so important for this year, especially with that new front. He's got to play hard. He's got to play in it. And I think this guy is very talented. I think he will. Then on the defensive backside, you got veterans back there. Kaj Sanders, portal help coming in from Henderson. Talking about, coming over from Marshall. He's 5'11", 191, but he's played. He's able to get into the mix right away. Corner, you got Masco. He's coming back. And then you got Cam Miller, mentioned him earlier from Penn State. Crucial piece to this defense for shoring up that other side of the, on the cornerback. I like what this team has. I maybe worried a little bit about some depth and the guys that need reps and the young guys trying to step in if they get in there. But I think what this team has. I just need to see what happens with the line play. That's really where I'm sitting at. I like what they have. We'll see how they translate. All right, let's look at some schedule here. And pull that up on my side, and then I'll get it on yours if I can pull it up. And there we go. All right, 2025. When I look at this schedule, it's tough. I know people will look at these. Oh, there's not a lot of top 25 teams on there. There's not no. You got Ohio, which is a very strong group of 6 team. We did a preview of them. If you want to go check it out on the YouTube, it's there. Miami, Ohio, another one that can be a contender in the MAC. That's a team you need to watch out for. I think Rutgers is going to be fine. You got the talent, veteran quarterback play to get through those. But do not overlook them. Do not sleep on these teams because they can be dangerous. But that's a good start, though. That's a test. It gets the guys rolling, gets everybody into the game, finish any rotational questions you have left, and then you got Iowa. This is where Iowa, that's a tough team. Defensively, always a dangerous team. Offensively, I think they're going to be better this year. I think they're really going to turn around, so you need to watch out. Minnesota, another team with a young quarterback that everybody's liking. We'll see. It's in Minnesota, too. That's a tough game. Washington, a lot of hype around this offense. Damon Williams. We'll see what happens there, but it's in Washington. And then you got Oregon. And then you got Purdue, which I know bottom feeder of the Big Ten right now. They're trying to come back. Illinois, that's playoff contention team. People maybe don't like to hear it, but I think it's true. And then you got Maryland, which is again trying to figure shit out, but they got young quarterback play, at least from what they're saying. So that's a tough one. And then you finish with Ohio State and Penn State. I mean, that is just a nasty 2-game finish. So you better have your shit squared away if you're wanting that 10 wins, 9 wins. You better have it done at the end of that middle segment there, November 8th. Because trying to beat Ohio State and beat Penn State's going to be tough. I think Penn State's more – I don't know if they're more gettable. I still have questions about Ohio State in the quarterback room, but they're obviously uber talented. And then it's at Ohio State. So when I wrote down for the floor and the ceiling based on the tough schedule, floor would be 5-7. And that's if everything goes horrible. You lose to Iowa. You lose to Oregon, Illinois, Ohio State, Penn State. You drop one to maybe Washington. You drop one to Minnie. I don't think so. But one of those, guys that gets you to 5-7. I don't think that's going to happen. If you lose every big game, there's a problem. There's a severe problem. I'll let you figure out what I mean by that one. And then for ceiling, I have 8-4. And I think that's possible. I think you could even go for 9, but it's going to be tough. I mean, you would have to win every big game outside of Ohio State, Penn State. So, I mean, I think you can beat Iowa. I think you can beat Minnesota. Your team should be good enough to have you in every single one of those games. I just want to see the line play. So, you guys, let me know what you're feeling on this team. How's the vibe, I guess. I hate saying that freaking word, but I guess it's a good word for it. I want to know what the fans from Rutgers think. Again, we're outside looking in. We do, national. So, I mean, I'm a Michigan fan, so I'm used to. I know the Big Ten, but Rutgers fans, I want to hear from you. What do you feel about the 2025 season? Your coaching staff, all that good stuff. All right, holler at me in the comments. We're good to respond and talk balls. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time joining us, and hope we see you around. Take care.